Everyone, thank you so much for jumping on this webinar today with us. I'm pretty excited. My name is Ali. I'm the co-founder and CEO of LegalMate, and that's me. I've been in legal tech for the last 5 years, and I've previously worked in startups and venture capital. So coming from a different world into this, but have been immersed in it for the last 5 years. Also a certified Clio consultant. Know way too much about Clio and the ecosystem, and also I'm a developer, so can answer a lot of those questions too. Devon, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, we can get going.
Sure. So I'm Devon Slovensky. I run Slovensky Divorce and Family Law. We are a family law firm. We only do family law. We're in Southwestern Virginia, and we are a growing law firm, and LegalMate's been an important part of that growth trajectory.
Awesome. I just want to go over a quick agenda. We're going to go over what is a VoIP like Dialpad and RingCentral. That's going to be pretty fast. I'm going to give a quick overview of LegalMate, and then we're going to talk a little bit about AI and law firm, and I'm going to interview Devin a little bit. She is like my go-to AI slash automation person. She's usually like always on the forefront, so it's always fun to talk to her about this. And she always gives us very amazing feedback. I'm gonna go straight and jump into a quick overview about Dialpad, and I'm gonna do a quick overview about RingCentral. They both are a VoIP platform that allows you to do calls, texting. They built in AI transcription that they have. They have IVR. They have an open API. If you have further questions about Dialpad, please let me know and I can answer them. But I just wanted to give a quick overview about that. Devin, I had a question for you. Like, why do people use VoIP, and what was your first initial thought process of switching over to VoIP from your personal phone?
I think we started with VoIP just because it was cheap. Back when I opened my firm in 2017, I didn't want to have to get a landline and pay for a landline. And it was just really cool and novel then that you could have these phones just ring to your cell phone and not have to carry multiple phones. But it's clearly just become the way to do business now because people want to be able to work from home and then you don't have to switch or worry about equipment. So I can't imagine not being on VoIP at this point.
Cool. Yeah, that's pretty similar to what I hear out there. I'm gonna talk a little bit about RingCentral. Very similar to Dialpad. The only thing part of RingCentral that is not baked in is transcription that you can use through their API. Very similar platforms. RingCentral is a bit older than Dialpad. They're both great. We both partner with them. We both work with them. So just wanted to give you an overview on that. I'm going to talk a little bit about LegalMate and Call Sync and go over some of our features that we have. And then I'm going to be asking Devin questions on how she uses it inside her firm. She was one of our early users and we've evolved over time with her feedback. So she's seen the evolution and it's been awesome to be working with her. So what we do is we create an automatic call entries inside your Clio after every single phone call from Dialpad. So that way all of your calls are recorded and entered inside your Clio. We pull in your full call transcript. All of your information that's coming in from Dialpad will be in your call communication. This allows you to use the full text search inside Clio. So if you've ever said a certain thing or a certain word inside a phone call that you remember but don't know where it is, you can use a full text search inside Clio to look for it. We also do AI summaries. These are a bit different than what you might see inside Dialpad. These are more catered towards your law firm. So with all the context coming from Dialpad and from Clio, we take them both together and we create an AI summary for you. Devin, I know your firm uses these. Do you want to talk a little bit about what is the best use case for them for you?
Sure, there's a ton of use cases for these around your law firm, like obviously ordinary client communications. But the big initiative, and I spoke about this at Max LawCon, that this has been really awesome for at our firm as of late, is that we initiated these client happiness calls, and we've done 1,200 client happiness calls. And that count was up to October. So we've done even more. And we are constantly, not constantly, but once a month, we are having an independent person who's not part of the client's legal team call and give a checkup to show the client we care, give them an opportunity to have a non-billed phone call with our staff so they feel free to express what's going on in their life and they feel maybe a little bit more at ease in the conversation. It's also just a way to double check our work and make sure that if they're unsatisfied with something, they have another place to vent that frustration because some people don't feel comfortable telling their lawyer, like, I don't understand what's happening and I'm not really happy with it. They're a little intimidated by the lawyers. So this has been super helpful in our client happiness calls, and our paralegals love it because they know that the clients are getting communicated with and they're able to see exactly what's happened in the client happiness call, including being able to say, oh, hey, how was that vacation that you had? I knew that you guys were out last week, and it just is really helping us have an even more intimate relationship with our clients in the way that we want to show up for them.
Wow, that's cool. I know we talked a little bit about that at CleoCon, but yeah, that's a lot of phone calls. The other part of our call sync is we create AI structured notes for you inside your Clio Matter. So every time you make a phone call, imagine if someone was taking notes with you on that phone call. These goes in a lot more detail and use the rich formatting. That's part of Clio. It becomes really helpful to keep everything organized and have a timeline of the matter from start to the end, and allows you to go into detail about what the phone call was and keep everyone around your firm up to date. So all the paralegals and everyone else around you.
And
Uh,
80% of the time, I'm just looking at the AI structured notes, and it's rare that I'm digging all the way down into the transcript. So it's nice that I can just see a high level, easy to read, easy to digest summary of what's going on in these calls or what's going on with our various clients without digging deep.
awesome. I know you use this one too, automatic time tracking with AI description a lot. We also automatically create a time entry for you, but not only do we do that, we also add in context about what the phone call was inside the description. So when you bill it out to your clients, they're not like, what was this call about? It exactly tells them that. So, Devin, do you usually end up going and editing a little bit of it, or are you guys just rolling with it? Like, how are you guys using it right now?
For the most part, we're really happy with how the entries show up. It is AI, so it's not 100% accurate 100% of the time. So I was looking through one today and it said I had a call with Christian. It was Kristen. Easy fix. We do supervise that, but we can actually go back in and just be like, hey, this is Kristen, not Christian. Be careful about this. And normally that helps. So we're supervising it, but really probably about 97, 98% of the time, we're finding that the time entry is accurate and a fair description for the client, and frankly, a lot better description for the client that conveys more value than our previous time entries that were just saying call with adverse counsel.
Yeah. We also do text message sync between Dialpad and LegalMate. This allows you to keep everything in one place. Some firms also are billing against it. So what we do is we create a call communication for you every 24 hours that allows you to keep track of all of your text messages coming back and forth. And if you do want to bill on a daily rate, you can also do that with this. This is what a lot of attorneys have told me. This is what they use a lot. It's called the CYA email, cover your ass. After every phone call, we generate an email draft for you that you can copy and send out to your clients. I know a lot of firms use it. They've become very reliant on it. Devin, do you use this? Do you sometimes use it?
I think it's a really good suggestion. So my attorneys love it. I personally am not using it that often, but it's a great feature, and the paralegals do love to grab those descriptions, tweak them a little bit because they're not always 100% what you want to say, but they're taking down the labor on some of these communications by like 70%.
Yeah. This is new, Devin. I think I might have messaged you. If not, we are introducing like a new LegalMate portal that allows you to have every single phone call that you've had inside Dialpad or Ring Central available to you. Previously, you didn't have the notes if you didn't have a matter attached to a call. Now, this allows you to have notes for every single phone call that you've ever taken. So, if you're doing a lot of intake calls and whatnot, this allows you to always have those notes available for you readily and all the summaries with it. Okay, so now I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. I'm gonna start asking Devin a lot of questions. But before I do that, I'm gonna take a minute and pause and ask if anyone has any questions about Call Sync, Dialpad, Ring Central, or anything of that sort. Okay, if not, so Devin, tell me, how long have you been using Clio for? How did you start your firm? I know you mentioned that you only do family. From the day you started till now, tell us about your growth trajectory. Share your story a little bit with us.
Sure. So I was a legal aid attorney for about 3 years, and I started playing around with Clio because of their native document automation, even when I was at legal aid. So I paid for my own Clio account. And then when I started my own practice in 2017, we were all in on Clio, and we've been with Clio ever since. And I feel really good about that decision because I'm a tech nerd And I love the pretty open API you have with Clio. So I can really bend Clio to do a lot of things that I want it to do. And that's harder with other platforms. We started out, I think our first year in business, it was $50,000 in revenue. And we are headed to be a multi-million dollar firm this year, which is exciting for us.
Wow. That's a crazy trajectory. What were the hardest things in scaling your firm, Devin, as you're going from like the first 50K to now?
I think understanding how to work with people and how to hire, I think that's been one of the biggest things to learn because nobody teaches you that. That is like a true business skill. I think every time we have built something with our firm, we've always tried to build our firm with infrastructure so that we can grow. And I've always had an eye to that. Our collection processes are built to scale, our communication systems are built to scale. But the biggest thing that was just not intuitive and I had to learn is how to hire, how to onboard, how to help people work with each other and create a really good environment where people want to stay and work.
Yeah, that's like an ever hard skill to acquire as you will keep growing and starting your firm, going from like where you are to even further on. I want to jump a little bit about some of the use cases that you see that other people might not think about that you and I talked about initially with LegalMate Call Sync. I know you mentioned that like you guys use it to monitor your guys' client communication a little bit if people are angry or happy and vice versa. And then also, I know you religiously use the notes section to glance over the history of the case. Walk me through the use cases that you've seen that weren't obvious in the starting when you start to use our call sync.
It's really nice to be able to check with my attorneys. So I think maybe one of the big problems I've had with scaling is that I can be a little bit of a control freak. We're all lawyers, so we can be very type A. And it's a little hard to trust other people in the firm to uphold your standard of client care. And so it's nice to be able to go back in, see that all the clients are being communicated with, and it's just really easy and quick to be able to check that and have quality control in that regard because that's one of our main firm values is communication with our clients, and we can make sure that's happening effectively.
Got it. That's awesome. Devin, I'm going to step into a different area. I know you and I talk a lot about the holistic approach to the clients and like in family law, especially clients come to you and there's a lot of financial information that you have to dig through and work through and also help them go from zero to like after a divorce, reminding them that there's a life after that. I know you have a very interesting approach on the financial side and you help coach your clients a little bit and how your firm approaches it when I was talking to you and your partner. Can you walk us through that? Because I haven't heard a lot of firm talk about credit scores, lending, and all of that. So I want people to hear from you how you have approached it, how you're thinking about different services that your firm can offer in the future, and everything else around it.
Sure. As we work with our clients, divorce can one be a very expensive undertaking, but it also is obviously hugely financially impactful. And so one thing that we like to do is try to get ahead of some of the financial issues that our clients are going to run into. And I find that credit is a really big issue that our clients run into as they face divorce. So by getting in front of looking at their credit early in the case, one, that's going to help us have proactive conversations about how hard do they want to litigate this and also help us understand our exposure and how far we push ourselves out on a limb with regards to how hard the client wants to litigate a case. But it also helps us set them up for success. Sometimes my clients are freaking out because oh, I'm an authorized user on their credit card. And no, no, that's actually great. Let's stay authorized user on that credit card line. Let's stay quiet about that. We don't need to change that because that's going to help you in the future because it could be bringing up your credit score if you're not the person who's been the financially advantaged party throughout the divorce. So I do think those sort of smoothing things, most clients don't come in with a lot of financial sophistication. So I really would like to be able to hand over my clients. We don't do this right now. We love to find a really good financial partner, and I'm a certified divorce financial analyst where our clients aren't just getting a divorce decree, they're leaving with a full financial plan when they leave our firm.
Yeah, that was like fascinating because like as you are mentioning, a lot of people are not super financially like know like deep about how credit scores work and how that gets get impacted over time, utilization of like your credit cards and everything else. As we were talking about that, I found that very fascinating that that is a new avenue that like I can guarantee you will be a growth lever for you in the near future as you grow your firm. That was really interesting. I'm going to take a moment. I want to see if anyone has any questions for Devon as we're going through it. Otherwise, I'm going to ask her about using AI in business of law and her automations because she is like an automation guru. As you probably heard in the starting off the interview, she is a tech nerd. That's an understatement. She's like almost a developer in my mind. So she uses a lot of different automations. I would love for her to speak about different automations she's built that are being game changer and how she's implementing AI in her firm. Yeah, Devin, floor is yours. Tell us a little bit more about
Ali,
automations.
unfortunately for you, we have connected and now I'm just like always a bug in your ear. So you give me a product person who does legal product, and I'm just going to talk to you all day about what I think needs to happen and how we can make it better. We do all sorts of automations in our firm. The big thing that we've been doing this year is getting really granular on our collections data and starting to rate and grade our collections. It is really preached out there. You should have no AR. You should get paid as you go. And we do bill every 2 weeks. But the reality is there's a huge segment of the population, stay-at-home parents, that really don't have the financial resources to completely pay as you go. And we want to be able to work with those clients and not necessarily fire them, but understand the financial exposure that we have as we continue to work with those clients. So we've been using a lot of automations yet, and we'll probably be laying some AI on the top of it. But right now we're just building out the automations so we can highly grade that. We can look at the equity in the marital home. We can look at the likelihood that we are secured in being able to get our fee. We can look at the market risk in regard to how much equity is in the home if there's a downturn, and decide if we're willing to continue to put money in the case, or if we need to have a really hard conversation with our client about the fact you're going to eat up all the equity in your house continuing to push this litigation, and we probably can't get you any further than where you are right now.
That's fascinating and very, yeah, that's how you aligning yourself with your clients and helping them be successful means you will be successful in the end of the day. Devin, if you are starting a new firm today, scratch, brand new, what would you do differently? And the second question I have is, what advice do you have for people starting a new firm today?
So, what would I do differently if I were starting a firm
Yeah.
today? I would have a little bit more confidence in myself earlier on. Okay. I would definitely invest in tech. I would definitely hire a very good bookkeeper early on. We hired a really good bookkeeper about 18 months in, and I think we probably should have done that a lot earlier, because once we really understood our financials, we can make better decisions. So that was a really critical piece in getting my firm off the ground. And that's another one of those critical pieces of infrastructure that's easy to overlook because it's not sexy to have a good bookkeeper, but it's been very useful to always know where my money is going and to have it be organized. My best advice, yeah, I mean, I think it's hiring the bookkeeper. I love doing Profit First. So I've been in Profit First since 2017, since I first learned about it before there was Profit First for lawyers. And now there's some really great resources on doing Profit First as an attorney. And I think that's a really great playbook. Figure out your marketing, do excellent client work, but you've got to put yourself out there.
Yeah, no, that's Profit First has been an interesting revolution over my time too. Like Mike has been like at the forefront of a lot of very cool stuff. Yeah, it's I've seen a lot of firm move towards that model and it's been the best thing that they could do for themselves because it switches them from being always running to being like, am I gonna make money to always knowing that they will. Awesome. Well, we've got 4 minutes left. If anyone has questions for Devin, now would be a great time to ask. But for us, Devin, thank you so much for jumping on a call and kind of giving us an overview of how you use LegalMate with your Dialpad and Clio for your call sync. And if anyone wants to give it a free trial, please send me an email. I would love to get you guys going if you use RingCentral and or Dialpad with Clio. Otherwise, the floor is for everybody to ask any questions. If not, thank you so much, Devin.
Holly, thank you for having me. I've really enjoyed getting to know about your services. And I love the fact that we've been able to talk to you and say, I'd love to have this feature or that feature. And you guys are continually improving the product. And I love that.
Thank you so much. If no one has any questions, thank you so much. Have a great day, and hopefully we can post this on YouTube for everyone else to watch too. Thanks. Take care. Bye, everybody.
Thank you guys.